There are many things that a narcissist hates when you become a person who is healing from narcissistic abuse and all their old tricks no longer work on the new you. But one of the things that they hate the most is when they can't make you feel guilty or responsible for the wickedness and evil that they do. When you finally wake up, like they really hate when you figure out, oh, the whole time I'm the one being blamed for something that's not my fault. Don't listen, my God. Let me help y'all. Don't let the fact that they talk a big talk, and don't let the fact that they will sit there and try to convince you that like they're never at fault, or like they'll never own any of the issues. Like they know they're wrong. And some of them will even admit it to a certain extent. They'll never fully admit it. They'll never fully take accountability. And they're never really sorry for real. I mean, they might say sorry, some of them, you know, if they're between a rock and a hard place. But for the most part, all of that is fake. All of that is their theatrics. Especially if they have an audience. Oh, they'll really play it up. But they really hate when they can no longer scapegoat you. They hate it so much. Man. Used to get away with so much stuff. Used to be able to throw all their witchcraft and their junk on you, and none of that works no more. It doesn't work, because when you realize like people be doing stuff and they be feeling like just because you love them or you care about them, like you should feel responsible to take on their sins and their burdens, when no, you're not responsible for that. You're not responsible for the jacked up, crazy, chaotic way somebody chooses to live their life, and it's not your fault. And people want you to constantly be apologetic towards them, when really you owe yourself an apology for putting up with all the narcissistic abuse they try to put you through, for putting up with all the stuff that they sat there and thought that you were just gonna, you know, deal with. At this stage and at this point in my life, the only reason why I continue to talk about the stuff I talk about is because I want other people to get free. I got people who think I talk about all this stuff because I'm angry, I'm so bitter, and like, no, I'm healed. But to a person that's still in an abusive mind, like headspace, or they're still a constant victim and they live in a victim mentality, they worship and they idolize this idea of never talking about anything they've been through and being silent, because that makes you mature. And that is not true. Are there times where it is maturity to be quiet about certain things for a season? Yes, but not forever. If you really want to heal, the final stage of healing is telling the truth. It's telling the truth. It's realizing like once you tell your truth, living your truth, that's it. That's it. People can't manipulate you and make you do anything you don't want to do, because at the end of the day, you don't got to put up with nothing you don't want to put up with. Like, they want to sit there and manifest and have a temper tantrum. Let them have it. Like, you grown and you gonna sit here and make everybody's life difficult for what? Like, you an adult. Like, stop being nasty to everybody. And then when people finally get tired of your crap, you want to sit there and make everybody else the bad guy because you don't want to own your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, absolutely not. This is why it's so powerful to learn, like, and to really unpack trauma. Like, if you have childhood trauma, if you have relational trauma, if you have spiritual trauma, like, you really gotta really, like, unpack it. A lot of people think they're over it because they just got out of that season and, oh, they learned to, like, move on and be happy. But, like, if you never spend time unpacking what you've been through and, like, talking about it or, like, doing any type of soul work, like, you really haven't unpacked it as much as you thought you have. You just moved on from the situation. That's all you did. And now you got other distractions or other things that preoccupy your time, you know? And you don't necessarily, like, you can go to therapy. I highly recommend people to go to therapy at least once in their life. You don't have to necessarily go to therapy, though. Therapy doesn't work for a lot of people. And here's my thing, like, with therapy when it comes to narcissists, why I think sometimes it doesn't work. And it's because a lot of therapists, like, they want to focus. They want the person that was victimized, the survivor, they want their entire focus to be on trying to make sense of the abuser's behavior, right? The narcissist's behavior. And really, honestly, that's just a ditch you digging for yourself. That's like an endless hole of nothing that you going down, because when you first like unpack that, yeah, like you're gonna find a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna say you don't, but like if you spend your entire life trying to understand the perpetrator versus what was done to you and how that affected you, like at some point you got to bring the focus back on you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta unpack, why was this difficult for you? How did this change you? If it's always about their feelings, consider them. It's like they're gonna keep abusing. They're out here abusing 11 million other people. That's what they do. Do you think they care? But a lot of nurses are really good at pretending. Like oh my God, they're so good at pretending that they care. And like they're coming from such a good place. And like they deserve Oscars. Like they deserve Oscars for how well they sit there and they pretend and they do all the stuff they do. And meanwhile, the devil is using them because they're a part of the enemy's camp. They don't want to heal. They don't want to like get free. They don't, like when you're not that type of person, like when you're not a narcissist, like you want to unpack your life. You want to learn. You want to grow. You want to cry it out. You want to let it out. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They do not want that. They just want to be a victim. They just want everybody to feel sorry for them. They just want everybody to buy into their narrative. Hear me. All a narcissist has is their narrative. That's it. Their fake narrative that they had to come up with, because if the truth ever got out, they would have to dig them 6 feet under because they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. They would be screaming, pulling their hair out because they can't, you figured them out. They can't everybody else figure them out. Oh, they spent years building up a fake persona, a fake facade, a fake this, a fake that. And it's like one thing like I will never understand about narcissists, like they do all of this damage control, not realizing like the damage control makes them look more guilty in the long run. Like they'll always have the people that will back them up, because those people are either like severely blind and they don't see anything else real or truthful in any other area of their life, or they're deeply narcissistic or a full-blown person with narcissistic personality disorder just like them. Birds of a feather flock together for sure. But like, I definitely think there are some people who are just like them. I think there's people that are not, and there are people who just believe the facade. I mean, again, the witchcraft is real. Like the spells they cast are real. And so like people will come under that spellbind. They'll come under that cast. And it's like, oh, wow, no, you're such a nice person. I wouldn't understand how anybody would let you go. You're just so kind. You're so good. You're so this, you're so that. And some of those people also know this person is a liar, and a big liar at that. They do. They know. They know this person's a liar. They know this is not a good person. Like they really do. They know. They're not surprised. They're not like, oh wow, what's going on here? Like, no. They know. But they feel like that person has a right to act the way they act. The same entitlement that they feel that person has is the same entitlement they exercise on other people too. The beauty of freedom, the beauty of healing is like you never have to accept what you used to accept. You never have to believe what you used to believe. You just never have to. Like, you come out of it and you can be so happy and so free and so at peace. And I'm sorry, like it's a lot of stuff people could lie about and say this, that, the next, but like that freedom, that peace, that joy, that glow, you can't fake that. Where's that coming from? You don't get that with bitterness, and you don't get that with self-hatred. You don't get that with unforgiveness. You'll notice like people when that's really what's going on with them, they're not really shining. Like they going through it, man. They're going through a lot of junk, and that's not to make light of it. It's just like, look, you get healthy again, you can get good again, but you gotta break off that witchcraft. Like you was looking healthy and plump and normal because you were able to abuse people and you were sucking the life force out of people. Now you can't do that, and now you look exactly like how you treat people.